And as a parent, I will continue to embrace this living son versus trying to keep the memories of a daughter.
Asher Ballard was born a little girl, but always knew he was a boy.
I know it's not a phase because I've always felt like this. I've never felt female. I've always felt like I was born in the wrong body, that I've always been male. I may not have always had a description for it, or I've never had a label for it, but I've always known that I was male.
Asher struggled with his gender identity so much that he wanted to die. He attempted suicide twice in a matter of months and was hospitalized both times.
I felt trapped in the wrong body. I felt like I couldn't continue life if I was stuck as a female.
Being in the hospital that first time, it was surreal, and you just you're sitting back and almost watching your situation from above and thinking, what's going on, how'd I get here?
All my friends were Christian, they were very religious, and I was just worried that no one would accept me for who I was. So I began self-harming, I began developing suicidal thoughts, and I began taking action on those thoughts.
Asher felt helpless. The first time he attempted suicide, his parents had no idea he was transgender.
Wrist to shoulder, both arms, and just, you couldn't count how many cuts there were. Then I went and started going through the room, and I was maybe 5 minutes into the room, and I ran across these 2 pieces of folded up paper. Basically, it was suicide letter.
Asher went as far as writing a will and detailing how his family should give away his possessions. This was a wake-up call that forever changed the family, and their sole priority became helping their child.
The letter basically said, in short, you probably want to know why I did this. And it basically got into the details of wanting to needing to live as a boy, not feeling like they were a girl, and if they couldn't be a boy, then they were going to exit the planet.
I'm thinking, how does this happen in my house and I don't know it? And that's a scary feeling.
After the first suicide attempt, the Ballards accepted their child and provided him with unconditional love and support. But even with his parents' support, he struggled with depression and attempted suicide a second time.
Now that we were aware of what was going on, he had moved to a new level of covering his steps, had made an envelope in the back of one of his books and was hiding his razor blades inside the little envelope that he took apart a little pencil sharpener, took it apart, got the blade out, hid the blade.
When you see a child struggle with themselves so much to the fact that they want to cut themselves, make themselves hurt, bleed, kids do all kinds of things. You can try to get rid of every weapon in your house that you know of that they'll use, but if they're in that place in mind, they're going to find whatever they can to harm themselves. And when you know there's something that you can do to help them through it, like accepting that your child feels like they are a boy and should have been born a boy, it's really not that hard once you see that struggle, and just to understand that even just a little bit of acceptance, it goes a long way with them.
It was a really long process, but we started, we got my hair cut, we changed all my clothing, and that was really cool.
My priority is my kid. If you're going to be around us, you're going to accept him.
I created this being in me, and yeah, we weren't going to do that. We weren't going to turn him away.
I'd rather have a relationship with my son than bury a daughter. When I found Ash's suicide letter, even though it hadn't happened, I felt all responsible. Because it was on my watch.
Their beautiful child could have been one of the alarming statistics, a child forever gone. The family urges their fellow Texans to treat all children with compassion and care.
15 months ago, I participated in a 16-mile overnight walk for suicide prevention. I went on this walk because my child is one of the 41% of transgender youth who've made an attempt on life.
I believe that if you're a Christ follower and you're a New Testament follower, that you have to show love like Christ did, and Christ loved everybody. And it wasn't pick or choose or buts or ifs, it was love unconditionally. And love yourself, love your neighbor, love your child. And that's one of the biggest things that Jesus says is you do not throw your children out. You take care of your family.
Knowing that they love me forever and they're never going to stop loving me for any of my choices is really nice to know, because it's like knowing that they're always going to love me really helps me like continue on during the day.
Asher has a group of friends now who accept and understand him. Therapy is also helping with his anxiety. Asher's hoping for a future world where there is equality for all.
I've learned a lot of different coping methods and coping skills. One of them is just like positive self-talk, like telling myself, you're worth it. Like or if I'm feeling bad about my body, like you look good in this outfit today, things like that.
Discrimination is not a Texas value. Embrace dignity and respect for every Texan. Join Equality Texas.